for your information, the harvest is a description of, and also some of the words used were for the sake of that channel, which was very much in Christianity. So they, some of these terms are tailored to that, not necessarily their own word choice. But it describes an event or a period of time where this cycle of third density planetary civilization goes into fourth density consciousness. So third density is that of self-consciousness. Fourth density is that of love and understanding and transparency and clairvoyance and telepathy and what have you. So that's what we're moving into as we speak. We're at that threshold. We've been at that threshold for a little while. And so the way I'm experiencing it right now is as a gradual event, meaning that for those that are native to this planet, those that have been with the cycle for thousands of years, so to speak, and that are quote-unquote human in their orientation, largely, by and large. Now we all have connections to different densities and civilizations, but those consciousnesses whose focus have been largely based around humanity at this third density cycle as we've been going through it. When you die around this time, if you die within this time frame, there will be, in a sense, a review process. There always is a review process, regardless of who you are. And when you die, there's a review process of your life. There's a review process of where all that integration fits in with your overall being, and then where you want to explore things next, so to speak. But more acutely, that will also occur to those that have great allegiances to humanity's collective, that have been building this relationship for in many different ways and lives, if you want to call it that. And so now the review that is happening for these people specifically is whether or not they'll continue into the fourth density beginnings of the civilization, or whether they're more suitable for another civilization, or whether they are more suitable for another third density civilization, or fourth density, whatever. So it's very individual based, but the harvest describes the process of how many beings from third density can be harvested into the same collective of a fourth density orientation. That is a gradual process. We have already made that shift. It no longer has to come through intense physical destruction and disaster. And so the events described back in the day, which they were reluctant to describe, but you could tell that there was a sense of urgency and there was a sense of quite rapid change. And in some ways that it's been described as like the instant polar shift, which has been avoided vibrationally because of all the increase in wanderers, and also because of the natives' ability to receive that material. So many concepts here. Wanderers are those that come that are not necessarily natively, they don't have a strong allegiance to humanity per se, but they come because they see they're being called to come. They're of service. So they no longer necessarily need this lesson for themselves of going from third into fourth, because they've already been through that in their own memory, complex, in their own consciousness memory. So they come to be of service, and they come obviously to learn for themselves how to fine-tune their service, and it is channeled back into their actual level, wherever they may have fourth density, fifth density, sixth density, to add greater balance to their learning of balancing love and light, or love and wisdom. So they're also serving themselves by being of service. They're also learning. It's not that they're not learning, not that they're completely infallible teachers. It's they're also learning, but large and by, they don't need the lessons that most people here still need. So they will mostly be beacons or teachers, some silent, some quietly, some don't even know that they're wanderers, but simply by being here and sharing their vibration with this planet, they help uplift the collective. Wanderers in a nutshell. So because of the big increase in the calling from this planet and the big increase in availability from wanderers to show up here at this timing, the vibration of our collective consciousness and psyche has changed significantly enough to where we can gradually move along with this change. And this has happened in the last 10 to 20 years. So linearly speaking, after that material has been channeled. So because of that good fortune, although every option would have been fine in the end, the polar shift has not been immediate, otherwise it would have already happened most likely. And so it's a gradual change, it's a gradual transformation, and structures will fall away rapidly in comparison to the last thousands of years. Things will change very rapidly comparatively, but not rapidly compared to the alternate story that would be possible too, at which point it would be more like an instant chaotic harvest of a mass harvest, so to speak. But now it's gradual, it's one by one, so to speak, as we're going through this change collectively.
My